Hello, everybody. So excited to be here with you and to discuss today with my good friend Anand. Yeah, I'm going to invite him right now. Wonderful. Oopsie. This is the first time I'm doing it. So, yeah. Hello. Okay. How I'm going to bring you how to. I'm not really good. Invite friends to watch. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome that I'm not. My phone. Yeah, Anand, give me a help. How I'm gonna invite you? Where's the option, man? Your viewers earlier to request to join. Yeah, you can request yourself, Anand. An invite button. Where's the invite button, man? That's so funny. No, I can't see any invite. Yeah, can you request, Anand? I can see so many people. Bring them on camera. Okay, I request, yeah. Because I can't see any button. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, today the subject is take ownership of your life. Okay, great. Approve. Fabulous. Anand is on his way. Hello, Pamjit, how are you? Oh, yes.
I see.
Anand is on his way.
Yeah.
Hello, Pamjit, how are you?
Made it. All right. Let me turn you off from the laptop sound now.
Yes.
I see.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yes, wonderful. You look better than last year. You have shorter
You hear me
hair.
clearly?
Yeah,
I have short
pretty
hair.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, shorter hair.
Still me.
Yeah, so how have you been doing?
I've been bliss. That's honestly like that is literally my feeling, you know, like how I feel, who I'm being, and a lot of that honestly comes down to actually living how I want to live, right? Taking action on what I want to do, right? And I think if many people do that, they will also have that constant state of positive, happy being feeling. Like if anyone's there watching right now, um, give us a shout out. How are you feeling? I want to know. How is everyone feeling? Like how you answer the question when someone asks you the most common everyday question, hey, how are you? What do you like to say? Let us know in the
Well,
comments
yeah,
below. I know what
yeah.
Sergio likes to say. What do you like to say?
Usually, like great, fantastic,
Yeah.
wonderful. But when I hear somebody, especially here in UK, not too bad, I feel like, oh my God, this person, it's so asleep. Because, like, every time when words are energy, right?
Yeah.
And when you hear every time not too bad is something is not really bad, I'm still alive, but I'm so bad. But people, they like this response is automatic because they heard it around,
Yeah.
and they embody it into their subconscious mind, and they just respond naturally. So Anand, what is your story?
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely on point there. What you're saying, first of all, about the not too bad, it's like not too bad is better than not crap, basically, right? It's like,
Yes.
where are the standards? Where are the standards? What was our purpose for being here, right? We should surely live more for than that. But anyway, thank you for inviting me on, Sergio. You introduced me as Anand. That I guess is my real name. Anand actually means happiness, just so you know. So I love
Oh,
my name. I honestly, I love my name. I cherish my name. My grandma gave it to me. Um, but I call myself Andy on social media, and I know some friends here might be watching right now who know me as Anand, being like, "Why would you westernize yourself and call yourself Andy?" And it's like, it's not really like I'm trying to westernize it. It's just I wanted to have a social media kind of like motto and slogan, and I thought saying Andy Bimji, helping you to
yeah,
break free, was like quite a nice ringtone to like when I'm speaking. So if anyone's watching, that's the reason why. And that's also, yeah, true. That's my name, Anand. So yeah, my story. Interestingly enough, Safron, you were a big part of my story coming in as I started my journey, as I went to one of our mentors, Breakthrough Success Summit events,
yeah,
right? I remember the day. So basically, it was a live event and it was all about breakthrough, right? And if anyone's been following me, you know that that's all what I'm about, because I'm all about wanting to live not a limited life and helping others free themselves of their limitations. And to do that, all you want to do is break through what is limiting you, right? So it's not like I just did this all on my own. It's not like I just got to this state and, learned the actions that I need to take all on my own. I went out there and I went to get help, right? And a great way that I got help was going to an event which was teaching all about this sort of stuff, right? So I went to an event in London, live event, Breakthrough Success Summit, and I knew at the time I wasn't sure what to expect, but I met Sergio right at the door. He's like, you were helping host the event, right? You were helping
yeah,
Red T-shirt. I wasn't part of the academy then, and I was like, yeah, dude, what's this event about? And then your reaction was like, oh man, this is the best thing ever. Like, just calm, don't worry. Just, I loved your energy, right? That's what it's about. When you're
yes,
when you're
yes.
feeling happy and you got that energy and you want to spread that with others. So I guess, yeah, there's many parts of my story. There's a part of my story where I was working in a corporate job, right? Because
Yes.
I'd followed the standard education system, right? The education system of learning theory, sitting a bunch of exams, which involves you studying and taking all your time out of your life to study for, to pass exams, which at the time I didn't know where it was going. I was just in trust of the process. But really, what that was leading me down a path of, if I was to stay in that world, was basically being an employee. And being an employee in a field which I started to learn down the line, this is not my true passion, right? So I chose a field within the finance and corporate world, which I'd honestly had been fixated on from quite a long time, right? I've been fixated on it since possibly 18 years old, right? That's the decision, that's the time when we make that decision in our lives. Okay, what degree are you going to study? What career are you going to go into? At 18 years old, what life experience do you have to even know who you are and what you even want out of life, right? But ended up studying a degree, which, I did a maths degree, and that naturally made me quite qualified to apply for these kind of financial roles and positions. But anyway, this is for anyone watching, right? If what you're doing as a job right now is not something you love, right? It's not something you love. So let me ask you this, okay? Let me ask you, Sergio, right?
Yes, please.
Let's imagine you're in a job that you don't love. Let's say similar sort of age, so 21, like I'm joking. So you're like 29, 30, whatever we are.
I wish.
Let's say you're in a job you don't love, okay? And let's say an 18-year-old was to come along and tell you, what are you doing with your life? Why don't you do something with yourself? Why don't you do something where you can get more freedom and all this sort of stuff? And remember, you're this person in a job who doesn't love it, but you're quite close-minded. You're quite there, right?
Mm.
What would you, being in that mindset of that person in that job they don't love, and maybe thinking you know more, what would you tell that 18-year-old?
Well, you can't even inspire that 18 years old. What can you tell him? to obviously to go with the passion and love for something that you do, because I look back in my life and I have done so many jobs. But yeah, as you, I share the same story that my life has changed the moment that I have had my first breakthrough success submit, and had Ed allowed him come into my life, has changed. But prior to that, I was so asleep, as so many of us, like living um, meaningless life with no legacy to think about. And yeah, now I live my life in the eyes of the greatest teacher that we have had in the past 2,500 years, you know. So now I think I'm getting closer to like pure happiness and fulfillment, like every single moment, because I don't live for me, I don't live for other around me, but
Yeah.
I live for the greatest teachers, that they they knew the truth for happy life. Without the old technology and opportunity that we have nowadays, we should be flying exactly as what you told me. We should be flying every single day, and just explode of happiness. Yeah, I right now, I inspire everybody I meet to trust more in themselves, and there is a lot more than what they been taught by the environment. However, if I would be stuck in a job, what can I tell to a kid of 18 years old? Uh,
So when I
I
say this, I want you to imagine, not, I don't want you to answer as you, Sergio, the happy,
Yeah,
inspired, and blissful kind of human being. I'm talking about a person who is in that routine, right? In that, standard, I'm going to work 9 to 5 every day, go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home, 5 days a week, and waiting for the weekend. I'm talking about, yeah, that person, and an 18-year-old, minimal life experience in their eyes perhaps, comes along and says, what are you doing with your life? Like, why don't you do something else? Like, why don't you do this thing? This is really taking off. This is really, you know what,
yes.
basically. Would you would you tell that 18-year-old something like, why should I listen to you? You're 18 years old. Is that something you
But
would possibly, not you, but is that
yeah,
some of that mindset would say? Typically,
yeah. Some people I think have the blocked mindset, because taking consideration the age that we have, we shouldn't be having that sort of thinking, because uh, and even I think a 5 years old is a lot more wiser than most of the humans, because I'm looking to my daughter. She's 5. She's For example, the other day she was happy because I told her I will allow her in 5 years time to eat bubble gum. Right? She was so happy. I said, yes, when I will be 10, I will eat bubble gum. They live the present. They don't know about stress. They smile all the time. They playful. Us humans, some of us, we are terribly boring.
so yeah, like exactly that. With kids being like so young and free and innocent, essentially, it's like they don't have these blocks, right?
Yes.
Somehow they don't have these blocks, whereas we somehow do, right? That somehow, like we can go into that later in the conversation, but it's like if we don't have these blocks, what would we do, right? If you had no fear, no worry, no concerns, no anxiety and all that sort of stuff, right? Imagine how different your life would be, right? That is literally a kid's life. They don't, I'm sure
Yeah.
your daughter doesn't have, well, yeah, doesn't have any of those, right?
No, no. Yeah, but I encourage her not to, and I behave in a way that I don't have to allow, like even. So the 5 years old teach the 3 years old, stop saying I can't, because you don't have to say that. It's not possible. I told
Yeah.
her, right? I can't. So when I see them, I can't. What are you talking about? There is nothing that you can't do. You have to, we have to build from an early age. But like I remember my parents, I have grew up in a total different environment, and so many of us did. So that's why we've been subconsciously programmed to uh, to follow sometimes the failure of our parents or teachers or the group of friends that we have. So yeah, we have to open up the wall, the invisible wall that we have around us, and go to navigate and to get to those teachers that they know the simple truth, the common truth, the universal truth. And but I think it's a long way to there.
Yeah,
It
it's
took me 35 years. It took me
yeah
35 years in this life
to wake
to
up.
get there, you know? Yes.
It is almost like without having that experience of really understanding, wow, we were so asleep, we wouldn't appreciate how it is to be awake.
Yes.
Like if we were just born pure, obviously born pure sometimes, but staying pure in that whole state, you wouldn't recognize like how amazing it is to be like that free. Obviously, it'd be great if those blocks in life never came up, and actually this was just a natural way for everyone to have always lived. But yeah, it's almost like without the pain, we wouldn't have had this level of pleasure and
I,
gratitude around
I,
it.
I don't know because I have been through pain and I don't know about any other examples, but I think it's better not feeling the pain. But you can feel the pain through what you see, you know,
Yeah,
and still in the world there is so much pain. Because if you go in a third world country and you see there, you're gonna feel the pain, right?
yeah,
Even if you have never experienced, and you can maybe make the change. But yeah, it's a great topic to take ownership of your life, and it's interesting to understand exactly how can you find people that are ready to really take ownership of their life and make that change. At the end, is only one decision. Only one decision.
absolutely. And
Okay.
this idea of taking ownership, it's what I said at the beginning, are you in control of who you're being and what you're doing, or are you allowing things on the outside to control what you're doing and who you're being, right? It's literally one or
Yes.
the other is happening. And taking ownership is you owning your life so that you're not allowing things outside to own you, right? And there's so many different levels and different like areas of what those things could be. But the most obvious one that I would talk about and what I would talk about in this chat here right now, for example, is this idea of working for yourself. So like when you're in a job, and this is not to slay jobs, okay? My purpose is not to tell people don't be doing jobs, okay? As long as you're doing something you love and you're passionate about what you're doing, such that this is what fulfills you, right? It's not just because you're not deciding everything yourself, therefore your life isn't good. No, it's just are you happy doing what you're doing? And I mean it like truly happy, right? Not just because it pays your bills and because you earn the money that helps you live a life outside of working hours, right? Because then all we're doing is essentially this example really hit home for me. Okay, this is something one of my mentors told me a story about themselves, right? Because they were a six-figure earner in their job. I think they were an accountant, right? And they're a
Yes.
six-figure earner. And one of his friends, who was trying to inspire him, one of his friends asked him, how much are you earning? Like, how much are you earning? And then the mentor guy, he said quite proudly, yeah, I'm on six figures. I'm quite happy doing this. Yeah, that's what I'm on. It's brilliant. Love my life. And he goes, okay, so you're really happy, six figures, right? Do you mind doing me a favor? Could you write down whatever it is you're earning on a sticky note? And he says, yeah, sure. Here. He goes, okay. Can you please stick that note on your forehead? And he goes, okay, fine. So he stuck the note on his forehead. He goes, okay, come with me. Let's go to the mirror, basically. And then they're both looking at the mirror. He's looking at that note on his forehead, and then the friend goes, "You see, you see what that is? That is the price tag that your boss has paid you to own your life
Ooh.
or to
This
own
is
your time."
yeah, but at the end, what is it to be a 9 to 5? Because I think there are few people working 9 to 5 that they are so happy about the money that they make, right?
Yeah,
Very few. And then obviously when you're having your own thing, like your own dream, you are working for your own dream. You are not working for somebody else's dream or for the sharer's dream or for the richest people. It's great to have your own business, definitely. Yeah, I've been through so different experiences in businesses and I have failed so much, and now I have to stand up again and start all over again. It's great. It's our experiences that I think so many people will pay money to go through, and it's important to connect with the right people, definitely.
yeah. What you said there actually about
So yeah,
the idea of failure, the idea of, yeah, like, okay, cool. So now we want to live the dream, right? But I believe you can't
yeah,
reach the freedom of castle unless you're willing to swim through the stormy sea. And that is the case. To
okay.
have the best in life, it is the best in life of this scenario of, I want my freedom, I want to take ownership of my life, I want to be in charge. All that compared to having someone else be in charge, and then you're living a more secure life of more comfort with that guaranteed income always coming in, essentially because someone else is doing that grafting entrepreneurial style work for this to happen, right? So to get to that point, it's not easy, right? But you do have a choice. And when I say it's not easy, but is it worth it? Yes, it is.
Oh yes.
I found that I really feel like when I think of all kinds of people that I really look up to, all kinds of people that have achieved something that I think like, wow, I want that. On the outside, we're very good at just looking at what's on the surface, right? So it could be like a footballer, it could be a celebrity singer, it could be an actor, anyone, right? Anyone who's owning a business and they stand out so much. We're so good at seeing what's on the surface, we forget actually how much they had to go through to climb that hill.
Well, I think that's why, because for 35 years I have lived for the life outside me,
Yeah,
you know, and I have never knew exactly what is in me, what is the spirit coming from, what is I didn't even thought about my heart or my breath or my health. I just lived like a snowflake coming from a different universe to here. This is what I feel and think. How was my past, but from now on it's just like a mystic journey that every time I find a new way of a little way of thinking, a different person that I can connect, and
yeah.
there are people like me. I don't know how come I meet those kind of people. And yeah, the journey it's amazing, and I enjoy every single every single moment, especially when I'm surrounded by people uh, like you and other people that I met through Champion Academy.
Yeah. And also what you said there about it's almost like a self-discovery kind of life, right? Rather than just full on, right, we know what we're doing, let's go do it, let's go have it. all this sort of stuff, right? The beauty is in that self-discovery. But here's the thing: if we were living a life where we were in such a closed, narrow place of living, right? So, for example, especially if it's a career or something that you don't love, but you just have to be there, and therefore all your energy to really experience the best of life is sucked out of you, right? Because you just had to put it into this job that you've been contracted to, that you have to be in. You just lose a lot of that energy to actually make the most of your life, for example, outside those working hours. But even better than that, if you're actually in ownership of your life and you're in that constant state of, in that motivation, in that positivity, in that love, in that great energy field, that allows you to experience, first of all, more, but also because you own your time, you allow yourself to explore, like, whatever random thoughts and ideas come up, you will actually be able to pursue it. You will actually be able to take time to receive more of it, compared to if you had to be somewhere, because essentially someone else is like, if you don't turn up, then you're fired, right? That's what would happen if you don't go to your job when you want to go. If you don't want to turn up to your job, fine, that's up to you, but it just means you'll be fired, and then you'll live in fear. Oh, I'm not going to make income, right? But when you own your time and you allow yourself to do what you want with that time, allow yourself to discover, explore, and experience whatever else. That's the beauty, because we don't know everything. We don't know what we don't know. And just having this time and space to actually allow us to receive that kind of stuff, that's the beauty of it. And that's when we learn more about life. That's when we learn more about our potential. And for me, honestly, it really inspires me within my business when I think of how many different ways there are to send out a message, to do some sort of marketing, to do some sort of networking, to just present something in a more way such that someone really gets it. Or even learning about
Yeah.
myself to actually do the work, to take the action. What is that little bit of wisdom I'm missing? What is that little bit of block I've not identified? What is that little bit of extra I need to do that I haven't been doing because I've just not been exposed to that knowledge, right?
Yes.
This stuff wouldn't have been possible if I was always in that narrow mindset that this is what I'm doing all my life, and I'm not allowing myself to have any energy and thoughts for other things. And I wanted to try to, I tried to do it on a part-time basis, doing a business on the side, but it was getting to the point where honestly that the energy was, first of all, I was being very aware that I I'm not able to put everything into my full-time passion. I really want to, but this job is taking me away from that, right? So it would kind of lower my energy a bit. As much as I try my best to keep it there, when like I used to literally leave work, get off the train station and run home. Like I'd literally run home, just this random maniac on the street. It's like, you don't need to run home. Most people run to work because they're so worried about getting there on time.
Yeah, so Pamjit said, you slowly kill your soul in case you do a job that you don't love. But I have had a thought about all the immigrants that come to work in a foreign country. For example, here in UK, everybody come here and they go where the more money, and which is construction, or they go to whatever job they find. So imagine what is the impact of the society, because if you go central London, everybody, we know, all of us, everybody's sad, is on their phone. They like living in the Matrix,
Mm.
the greatest documentary ever. and and yeah, it's so scary and sad to not be knowing about the divine spirit that we have, and that we are a miracle, and not to appreciate and be grateful about this simple thing which is life, and we breathe. um, there Happiness starts there when you are self-aware about your creation before you are here, right?
Absolutely. Totally resonate what you said there about the idea that like life is a miracle, like how we like honestly, even just how we're able to connect just like this, right? How cool is that? Right? You're not even in my physical, but like no limits, right? more things evolve, everything. And it's so exciting about what more there can be to come. It's I just want to be a part of that experience as much as possible, right? And it's like if you're doing something that's not putting you in those experiences, putting you in those feelings, putting you in those whatever, you're just missing out. And it's like this is the sort of stuff I just want to knock into people so much. But you know, how can I say it's not everyone's ready for it, right?
Yes.
But sometimes they are. They're on that verge of being woken up. You know, it's like imagine you're like an actual situation. You're sleeping in your bed at night, right? It's like you know it's morning. The curtains are closed. You just the curtains open just a little bit, and you're like, oh no, what's that light? I want to go back to bed. I don't want to. Like that's amazing. That sunlight, you know. It's like I love waking up sunrise and doing like sometimes I go meditation and whatever. But that's what I mean. It's like the difference. And even in real life, again, being asleep, you know, I just want to be in this comfortable kind of environment, space, and not try and evolve and explore more, even if I don't know what's to come, even if I don't know how uncertain things could go, right? We just want to go out and do it and, you know, in such a purpose to actually make a difference.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking like um, the sun has this kind of energy that can pass on to you only just to expose your body for 20, 30 minutes a day. It's it's like gives you really, really energy. And yeah, the first thought that you have, the first 20 seconds of you being awake, that is the moment that you already created your day. But if you wake up and say, oh, again I have to do that, again I have to go at work, again I don't
Yeah,
want to
it sets the
stand
tone
up, I
for the
want to
whole
sleep
day.
more. Yeah, so you finish. So you have to set your intention before going to sleep that the morning I will get up and I create and I live the life that I deserve and I am happy no matter what. Is like what you speak return back the same energy and frequency and vibration as you speak.
Yeah,
Um, well, this is I think, a, a universal law that most of us we are not aware and we don't even believe in it.
yeah.
You know?
Exactly. I think Juma Oliver has a comment here. It says,
Yes.
everyone wants a better life, but the awareness that there are always there are ways apart from being in a job is not there yet. Absolutely right. Like it's weird how some of us can just get it, how some of us feel it, but others don't, right? And I'm sure, fine, they have their own reasons why they prefer being in a job, but I'm talking about the people who actually do have passions, who actually do have loads of potential that they know they're aware of, and that actually want to do something with it, but they're not taking that step. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because there is big differences in how aware people are and not, or how much people feel about this idea of, you know, being free from a job and not. So yeah, it's very difficult to kind of have this conversation with people who are on the other end of the scale. And I'm honestly, I'm coming from a place of there is no right or wrong, there is no best or not. I'm just going with there is no. I don't think there is that we can say what is truth, but we can say what is true to us. And if
Yes.
you can truly be true to yourself, then you will feel one way or another more so about it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Palmji said that those one that you
Haven't got to their
we are
break.
saying are in the job, yeah, they haven't got to their breaking point yet. Yeah, I think
When do you think they will get to their breaking point, Palmjit? When do you think that would happen? I guess we can go from our own experience, but when do you think that would happen?
um, yeah, to respond on my side, when they will feel that um, there will be, for myself, when it happened that I started this journey to discover and to be different, because I have lost everything, and I have felt that I have done so much. I thought I own it, but instead no. So it was an illusion, and I went to back in time and asked myself what's missing. So I went to discover, like reading and searching online, and I was every single day discovering something, like I was surrounded by the wrong people. I was not working enough. I was trusting people too much. I was too kind with unkind people. I was not having the normal knowledge. There were no spirituality in my life. Um, there was no daily growth for me. I wasn't exercising. So all these kind of maybe simple things, I was having loads of addictions. Those one gather together, they
Mm.
affect your like a spirit muscle that is squeezed, and like squeezed it is, you are weaker as a character, as values, um, as an individual. So I think, yeah.
Yeah,
So some of it,
absolutely. I love your language, like that spirit muscle and squeeze it. And how do we grow?
yeah,
But it's also like, let's say you go to the gym, right? So you're working out, and you work out, I know now. So you're working out, and your muscle, it doesn't grow unless there's some sort of tension, right?
yes,
So when you're actually working out to push yourself, there's got to be some sort of tension. And that, when it just hits that point, that it can actually expand and grow, right? I'm gonna see, I'm no like PT or anything like that, obviously, but that is the theory that I'm aware of. And same with us as humans, right? We have to reach that kind of tension that will help us expand a little bit more. And it's what Parmjit was saying there about that breaking point. So you don't break, but you have a breaking point that you can break free and break through.
yeah. The same is the brain as well, right? Is a plastic and it's a muscle. The same is the willpower. The same is uh, decision making. Everything, it's it's visible or it's invisible, right? Are you a strong character or are you a weak individual? It's all about what we choose. But when you decide to do it, that's a point that I want to know better about.
Yeah,
And is everything about the will of the people? And I think we live in a world that we don't teach our kids since they are. I think it's everything from the school. The school should teach you really this kind of stuff that we discover now when we are
yeah,
25, 30, 35, right?
yeah,
So I think before going to I don't know, a transition maybe between 7 and 10, to teach kids to find what is their really passion and focusing only on that to do. And
yeah. There's
yes,
a
and
lot of flaws in the education system, which I can just speak through myself because I am someone who completely followed the education system and I worked hard. I trusted that process that I was told to trust. Not even told to trust, I just trusted myself because that was what was around me. That's what I was looking at the people around me, what they've done. And I did my exams, I did degrees, I got my passes, I got people feel as a good result and did loads of professional exams to get to a certain level as well. But I was kind of getting aware that there are actually some hidden skills within me. There is some areas of this creativity, some areas of this, what can I give to make others like happier kind of thing, right? And it wasn't coming at all through what I was doing as work, which I spent a good
uh,
part of 15 years of my life studying, learning, and doing exams on and working in a job on about, right? To me, that breaking point was just, I honestly, I can't explain it in words. There is literally just a waking point in our life, I think, where we just wake up. It goes from we weren't awake to now we're awake and like, what the hell? Like your life is just a different picture now.
Yeah.
Like on its own, I don't think we as humans can even control that so much, right? I really feel that's very spiritual, where you just simply wake up from you just couldn't have predicted it. You couldn't. It just happened on its own. Like I just feel blessed that I got to that point where that has happened for me, and I think you're right. Yeah, through the upbringing, through the surrounding, through the conditioning, we can probably it can probably help others, not get into that such conditioned asleep state if this was the conditions around them from the beginning.
Okay, so yeah, I just come something through my mind. So imagine like words, right? Words.
Yeah,
They just have a sound, right? They are energy, vibration, and the spirit has like an infinite um, quantity of words. Where those words staying in our body, right? Because the spirit is in our body, but
yeah.
where is that spirit staying? Is is obviously our spirit is invisible, and it's so big because I think it's so deeply connected with the universe, right?
It's powerful.
Yeah, and imagine like over there, it's a lot that we don't know, and our subconscious mind is 96 to 99% of us, right? Which is automatic. That is our body, how
It
it works,
controls
and so on.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And imagine that Alan Watts said, like, plant every single day seeds because maybe in a period of time you will gather everything. You don't have to know how to do something. Just say say it, ask, and it is given.
Mm.
So I think, but first you have to believe it before
Mm.
you see it, right? Most of us, we don't believe in nothing because I think we've been surrounded by situation and people that they have never gave us the confidence that exists, that it is possible, that we can do it all together. Oh yes, I got hit up so much. I don't know
I know.
why.
We're not even talking about the topics of like
I
what
know,
we said
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
talk about. We're just like, okay, here we go. This is what we're doing.
yes,
Um, but yeah, I guess, I mean, yeah, does anyone else watching have any questions for us, by the way? I know Sergio said ask us some questions if you've got any. But actually, yeah, just to give some background, 'cause I know you started saying, what's your story? I never even talked about it. We just gone through this conversation. Somehow we've got to here. I don't know how long it's been. Um,
yeah,
but honestly, yeah, my story is I decided I'm not going to continue in the corporate job that I'd started in, even though it's been 5 years, even though I spent 5 years studying professional exams for to be more qualified for this job and officially by title qualified. Because honestly, if I stayed in that, um, first of all, it's taken me away from my passions once I was woken up to what my passions are, especially in this online marketing and inspirational kind of space, especially. Um, so it's taken me away from that. I want maximum time to do my passions. I don't want to settle for limited time outside my work hours, during the weekends, that sort of thing. I want maximum time, right? So I decided I'm going to do that. I took the leap. And secondly was I decided to do that, yeah, because I wanted to again explore my potential, my power, and also if I did stay in my job when I was there, then I would have actually felt more and more comfortable, right? Because entrepreneurship is not an easy journey. It's full of fears, it's full of risks, and uh, the more like I felt I'm not facing my fears, not facing my risks because I'm not doing it as actively, and I'd start to get very settled and comfortable back again in this job. And especially when the fear would come up outside of the working hours, it would make it easier and easier and easier for me to just do what is safe, right? It's such a hard
yeah.
thing to battle, that human condition. So it was out of both. It was out of more like inspirational. That's why I wanted to change. But since then, and why was I confident that I can do this as well? Like I said from the beginning, I didn't do all this myself. I started by coming to an event, right? I came to an event led by someone who's achieved what I want, right? When I say what he's achieved, so he was a speaker on stage, right? He's had multiple businesses in his past. He's taught others, he's mentored others such that they can become successful with any passion that they want to turn into a business, right? So all I'm doing is I'm just learning from someone who's clearly proven, right? Clearly knows what this is all about and how to do well in it. So all I'm doing is learning from that just to get a starting step, just to get that belief factor running again, right? And that's honestly been my journey as I've gone on and on and on. So what am I doing now? I am doing affiliate marketing, or you can say network marketing. I think it's the same thing. There's different types of network marketing. You've got multi-level marketing and you've got single tier marketing, right? So that's affiliate marketing. And that itself, I didn't realize actually before I got into it how cool this is. Like, I'll be honest, when I got into this, I was thinking more, I just want to replace my job income, right? So I was actually thinking on the financial side, this is pretty lucrative and I can see myself doing this because there's tons of people out there doing it. Why can't I? So I was first thinking of that. And then I started to understand actually, uh, someone says brainwash. I call it a brain cleanse. Thank you. Purifying. Anyway, so the skill of networking, the skill of marketing, that is essential for any business, right? I don't care if you're in a normal traditional business, if fine, you have an online business, but you're doing it as, you know, you are the owner and you're not working as a rep for another company. Like, those skills are essential in everything. And yeah, that it's such a great stepping stone to actually then build and do your own thing, which comes back to taking ownership of your life. But it's not easy to do that straight away and just by yourself. It helps so much when you have mentors, when you have a team of people around you, when you have a system that is proven to work, um, that you can follow and achieve your own success from. And think of it like this: when you work in a job, right, the reason you get paid is because the owner or the boss is able to pay you, right? And the reason they're able to
Yes.
do that is because their business is currently working, it's profitable, it's able to pay the employees. Why? Because it's got a system that is working. And for that system to work, it needs humans or machines or something to work the system, right? Think of
Yes.
cogs going around in wheels and eventually leading to something. Essentially, the employees are part of that system and they're just doing their thing that helps make the whole system work, right?
Yeah,
And
makes sense. Total sense.
literally, it's like if you've got a proven system, you just need people to do it, right? No one needs to reinvent the wheel. Yes, you can evolve, you can try more things, but no one needs to reinvent the wheel. So I was thinking that's the same thing if you're going into someone else's business. And now I'm talking network marketing where they have proven systems, right?
Yes.
Anything, proven systems, you don't have to do actually anything regarding thinking of how to make this work. You just have to be completely coachable and take the action and do what is advised, right?
Yeah, but you're making less money than running the system in network marketing as you do, right? When you go into a job, you maybe you make less money.
So it can vary. So I think at the beginning, honestly, you're not going to earn much as your
Yeah.
network marketing journey
Yeah.
starts. You're not, because you only really get it until you experience it yourself, but you're going to go
Yes.
through a lot of blocks within you, right? I've already said the system is there. The instruction manual is there to make it work. It only works unless you work it, right? But if you're not working, for some reason, you work in a job, but when you're in entrepreneurship, that you can face many blocks that you won't work it, right? So there will be a process you go through, and this is the beautiful part of the journey where you learn more about yourself as well as other people. And so yeah, it's basically you work a proven system, but at the beginning it takes time to even get to that point where you're consistently working it. So yeah, in a job you might have a guaranteed level of income, but it's going to be fixed, right?
Yes.
Again, it's limited. It's not in your control unless you're the owner of that business that can drive more business to the company, right?
Yes.
Even if you are the person driving business, if you're contracted and you've got a fixed level of income, you paid a salary most of the time, right? Might get some
Yeah.
bonuses. That's good as well. But yeah, when at least by venturing yourself, by being the entrepreneur, by working in a system which doesn't limit, which actually pays you for your efforts, essentially, you can
Yeah, I
actually
totally.
earn more and more. So it just comes down to how much action do you take? How much do you want it to even take that action in the first place?
So yeah, yeah, it makes sense. So how can people uh, take more ownership in their life?
Someone's got a question here.
Yes.
Okay, Clement, you got a question there. I would essentially say you learn about this industry, and it's actually very simple how to learn to make the money. It's honestly very simple, but if you want to know more, just reach out to one of me or Sergio after. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's more about understanding the industry. If you already know the industry, then we can definitely talk more quicker. But otherwise, probably get you started to learn what the industry is about.
Yeah. So somebody, how can take ownership in their life to do more and to have more? What is can we create like an artificial spark in somebody's life to you said as to lead by example, right? But
Yeah,
is anything else that we can just like make somebody change their mind? Or you said the like as well, so like to be liked or to lead by example?
lead by example. I don't. I did go through a phase where I wanted everyone to feel what I'm feeling so bad. And first of all, I just assumed like, wow, I woke up to this knowledge. I woke up to this other world. I didn't know about this before. Surely no one else knows about this other world as well, and that's why they're not doing it. So my intention was, right, I've learned about this new thing. I want to go share it with my friends and family straight away, right? Because I was only thinking if they're not doing this, it must be because they don't know about it. Otherwise, it just makes plain sense, right? Of course they'd want to do it, but it's not the case. Honestly, I was shocked. Like maybe my mind wasn't so aware of how different people will feel about this industry if they already knew about it and stuff like that. So I don't think you can. This is, and also this is not an industry to convince people. That's actually why I think it gets a bad reputation because it's trying to a lot of networkers are doing it where they're trying to convince people. Of
Yes.
course, they have a heart and they want those people to experience what they're experiencing. Sometimes there's a lot of attachment and they're actually doing it because they know there's profit in it for themselves. So that's another thing. But let's say you're coming out with the best pure intentions, right? Which is what we want to do. There is an art, right? And you
uh,
can't convince people, you know, like some people just get it quicker. If they don't, then you want to move on. You don't want to try and convince. You're just going to have this battle kind of argument about what's right and what's wrong, right?
yeah.
And you want to protect your energy, right? You want to stay in your high vibration. So if you're attached to an outcome and you're letting that again control your feelings, then you're going to be less abundant. You're going to take less action the next time. You're going to think, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't go to like people like this, right? All you're doing is putting out an offer unconditionally. It doesn't matter. I saw a question earlier from Palmjit. It said, "What are your blocks? What were your blocks?" So, yeah, exactly. Not everyone is also ready for change. Thank you, Jill. So what were my blocks? Honestly, I go through blocks even today, right? Even yesterday, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
my blocks of just focusing on one thing, right? That's so important to focus. But yeah, my blocks. Very first block. So when I started in network marketing, I was actually part of a company that was doing it not online so much like I'm doing now, but was doing it offline. And I had such a block of sharing this with some of my friends and family because once I'd have a go at sharing a few presentations and I realized even my closest people um, just wasn't feeling it, I was like, I don't want to share this with people I know now. I want to share it with other people, maybe, right? But actually, what I didn't realize was my block was I didn't believe in the product. I just saw the system for what it was. I love the model. I love the idea it takes to like financial freedom. That was my thinking at the time only. I just want that financial freedom. But my block was I didn't believe in the product. that was underlyingly a lot going on, right? And when I say that, this is really important for any business ever, right? That you have a higher purpose than the money, right? I know
Yeah.
business is about making money. I can't speak for everyone. I'm sure a lot of people make money without doing something that they're really passionate about, even in their own business. But to have that most joyful experience, you really want to believe in your product, then you just feel true about what you're doing, right? So I know there was a belief that also the way I was doing my network marketing when it was offline, how much I was working on this. Like, I have to get in the car and drive to hotels and drive to other people's houses and go to presentations and that sort of thing. Once I'd experienced that reality, I was like, this is goofy. This is not what I want to share with others. Because, fine, I've got this mindset. I want to do this. I want to just give it a go. This friend here, this friend there, this friend there, I just can't see, not can't see them doing it, but this is not what I want to duplicate onto others, right? So the idea first that I didn't believe in the product, then also didn't believe in the system that I was in, right? My very first one, which was traditional offline network marketing, which I honestly think is a combination of being outdated as well as so being outdated as well as the training that we're given in many network marketing companies compared to what I know now, compared to what I've been learning myself from a mentor that I've had for the last year, which has honestly like saved my career in this. Otherwise, I'd be doing things the wrong way. I'd be failing like 99.9% of the industry does. I think is a lot because of the training that they get. It's meant to be a pleasant experience. It's meant to be a really pleasant experience, right? Because at the end of the day, there is a market. There is people out there who are looking for change, looking for growth, but we're not good at identifying that, and then we're not good at connecting with people such that they want to get interested as well, right? I wasn't getting that from my first chat since I got into online marketing, and I really believe I could do this exact same thing offline as well, but it's just easier doing it online. Lots more scale, lots more reach, lots more efficiency, and it's a good skill to specialize in, to build upon, because this is where business is going. So I want to get in on that now, and it's not like network marketing is all I want to do all my life, but it is a handy option, and like I said, it's a brilliant stepping stone. Just learning business, learning about yourself, learning about others. It's honestly extraordinary, but I don't hype it up so much to brand new people, because when you get something so much and they don't, there's just such a difference of like frequency that it kind of pushes them away. But hopefully, whoever's watching, maybe you resonate with what I'm saying, and if you do, just give us a thumbs up. Be nice to see.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what time is it because I have
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's about an
to
hour we've been on.
it's been 1 hour. Ah, I can see it on the live.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh, I gotta run.
Who's
I'm
been
already
watching this
late,
whole
man.
hour? I think Palmjit's been here this whole hour. Thank you so much.
Yeah, she was
Have you
like,
enjoyed
thank you so
it?
much. I
And this one?
apologize, Pamjit, if we haven't responded all the questions to you, and I think the interaction with the public wasn't really great, right? But we were so deep into our
I know
discussion,
this
and
happened.
my friends, they had made loads of jokes here, and yeah, it was a great interview, man.
Yeah, no, this is just a
Appreciate
chat,
your
isn't it?
time.
It wasn't even an interview in the end. It was just a chat.
Yeah, great chat. I mean, yeah, I think I should be doing that more and more often, like one a day. It's great, I think, to just like, and this kind of chat, like where you connect, where you combine like truth with spirituality, with the business, with other people points of view, with your story, with what do you think it can have an impact in somebody else's life. And really, Anand, you a lot more deeper and different, uh, and downloaded, after I met you
This is
last
the
time,
first
probably.
time.
Yeah, so we
Honestly, like,
continuously growing.
thank you, man. Really appreciate that. And like honestly, like meeting people like you from the first time, it was like this is the people I want to be around, right? I don't look at someone by their title. I don't look at someone by what they've achieved already. I don't look at someone by anything, right? Like honestly, it's like, what is that feeling like when you're with them, right? It's that sort of person you
Exactly.
want to
Yeah.
be around. And even if they're not feeling great, do they want to feel better? I want to help that person, right?
Yeah.
So, are you frozen? If I can just
Yeah.
give,
No, somebody was calling me.
oh, I see. Okay, that happens, yeah. If I just give a I guess we're gonna wrap up here, right?
Yeah, we have to wrap up because my daughter, she's already waiting for me, so I'm running late a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so I just wrap up here. I know the topic was ownership of your life, but if you've been watching bits of clips, anything, if you're curious, if you have any questions, like how do you get started? How do you really take ownership of your life? What is the vehicle you're using to get you started? You know, considering that you didn't have any, if we didn't have any of this kind of experience in our lives to start with, from our traditional upbringing as well as what we studied, what we worked in as jobs, then if you're curious, just reach out to us, add me as a friend if you're on Sergio's profile. And guys, if you're on my profile, add Sergio as a friend because he'll shine lots of light in your day as well. So thanks everyone for tuning in, who's there right now, watching on the replay. Um, yeah, it'd be great to stay in touch, and we can't wait to continue to share lots of value with you. If
Yeah,
you enjoyed,
we will
please let us
definitely
know, and we'll definitely give you a shout out.
we'll definitely
Anything
do it
else?
again. Yeah, everybody, loads of love and be happy. Everything is perfect. Just be be happy because there is only happiness around you. So more happy you are, happier you're gonna be. So yeah, thank you very much for your time and
Life
see
is
you
love.